What's up, everybody? Getting the last couple things set up here, and then we are going to get going. There we go. All right, let's flip over to the live stream. There we go. Oh, my cat messed with my webcam. There we go. Hello, everybody. Ooh, that's... I just realized that puts me literally right in the way. Let me swap over to engine. Honestly, a good place to put me probably is going to be right down here. And then chat. Go right there. There we go. That's probably a good spot for it, because then I'm not blocking code. Okay. After day one, I did a lot of work off stream. I feel good about the velocity of getting this done in a reasonable amount of time. I had to just earlier today. I was figuring out how to get the relearning how to use the animation component, and seriously, Zeppelin, every time. Do you want to lay down or do you not want to lay down? Yeah, I got the animation. The animation's working. My movement speed's still super slow. But I figured out I did the animation components, came up with a slick way to move them around. So like as you can see right here, I turned that off. I had it switching like the animations and stuff like that. So basically what I'm gonna need to do with the reconstructing of a lot of the items, you know what, I realize if I'm sitting here, I should take this and I should flip it. Oh, that's the wrong way. How do I flip it the other way? I can flip vertically, like, see? Hey guys, I'm upside down. Actually, I don't know if that's reflecting on you. Oh, nope, it is. Okay, yeah, I'm upside down. How do I... Effects. Yeah, effect filters. Hold on. Hey, Fev. Ooh, scroll. What? Actually, okay, whatever. We're gonna mess with it. Nah. So what I was saying is, so we got the figured out how to use the animator. Got it working. Got a slick way now to update the player when it's animating to when it's changing armor and stuff like that. So basically, I don't know if there's a better way, but this is the way that I found how to do it when I was playing around. Is basically I've got all these yes I am. And it's actually going pretty well. I think I'm gonna be able to get this done like in a reasonable time frame. There's just a couple things here and there that have really like stumped me, and I've had to invest time into figuring it out. But I'd say 90% of what I'm having to do is literally just taking code and putting it over here. But like, so a thing that I have to do that I don't know if there's a better way, but the way that I've found how to do this is in the item itself. I'm gonna have to have a reference to the sprite, like the frame, like that I use like on the inventory and stuff like that. But then I'm also going to need it to have one of these animation controllers in it. So then that way what I can do is in code. Something playing. In code, basically I go and I think I do it somewhere in here. Or no, maybe it's in the actual character itself. Yeah, so in the character itself, when it first boots up, it's getting the animator and it's setting the animator controller to the default animator controller. In this case, the sprite you saw. And then I can go and swap those animator controllers around, and it just works, and it's kind of cool. So I'm just gonna do it that way. We're gonna see what happens. But no, so basically what happened was I started running into the corruption error again. And it was one of those things where once again I was looking around asking about stuff like that, and people are like, "Oh, well, are you doing this? Are you doing that?" But I'm like, "No, I'm not doing all these things. It's just corrupting." Like, I could literally not touch a scene and it'll just randomly be corrupted. I got sick of it. There was a handful of other errors that when I upgraded to 4.3 in Godot that like crept up, and they were just getting obnoxious, and I got sick of dealing with it. And I've said before about some of my complaints about like GD script and not having access modifiers, not having interfaces, not having a lot of like stuff that I want access to. And I finally got to the point that I just said screw it. And I know Godot, like in my Godot game, I could have done C# because I wasn't doing a web build, but it still felt clunky. Like, I did play around with I like genuinely did play around with in Godot, just starting to convert stuff into C#. But I was running into the engine was just getting in the way sometimes, and I was getting sick of it. And I finally said, screw it. We're going to port it over to Unity. So we're going to spend the month. We're basically taking a break from development, and we're going to spend about a month doing this migration. And at the end of the month, we'll evaluate how far I got into the value. If I don't like completely finish, we'll see how far I got. And if I got like, I'd say even like 75% of the way done in like the month, that's going to be the green light for me to just, this music is too loud for me, to just keep going with Unity. If I end up at the end of the month and haven't even done like half, and we're just gonna axe the project, not axe the project, but we're gonna axe this whole Unity thing, and we'll just go right back to Godot and deal with the issues. But it is giving me an opportunity to rewrite some code, which is fun. And right now I'm working on my own custom timer. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Like, literally, I if you saw my screenshot in Chris's Discord, I literally just one-for-one copied the timer node from Godot, and I'm recreating it for myself. Got two. Oh, that's why. Okay. I think this is an Unreal Projects. Annoyingly, that I put it in the wrong. Yeah. So I want to grab this guy, because basically what I kind of wanted to do, health component. Oh, I thought I did do that. Okay. All right, we're gonna have to look this up again to see how these were done. C# events. How did I do this? Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? I forget the... events. Okay, so... I gotta write my own. Okay, so in the timer, I'm going to be making my own. I need my videos to start. God, I cannot remember the syntax for this. History. Sharp events. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna have a we're gonna put these at the top. So we're gonna have a public delegate void of on and a Godot open to timeout. Oops. And then we're gonna have a public static event of timeout and then I don't think I can do it that way. Yeah. I want to see what the rest of the code looks like. So it is on the what script? So event manager dot on clicked. On timeout. And then basically, so what's going to happen is update is going to say if. So if it is running, we're going to do we need a private time left. It's gonna be a float. Time left, and we'll default that to 0. So then we're basically gonna do is running is going to be set to true, and then this needs to be a private. Time left is going to be equal to wait time. Then we're going to do public void run. But we're going to do 2 of these because we're also going to do public void. We're going to overload this. So that way we can either just call run and it'll grab whatever the default wait time is, or we can pass in a wait time. Which is one of the things I complained about with writing GD script was I couldn't overload methods even though there was stuff in GD script that had overloads. But why I couldn't write overloads myself was so frustrating. All right, so basically we're gonna do time left. It's gonna be minus equal time dot delta time. And then if it was, I like Godot, I really do. I was running, it was the fact I was just running into so many issues, and I don't know if it had to do with the fact I don't know if it had to do with the fact that there was like a lot like some of the complexities and the size of like a game, but like I know there's people out there that have made big successful games in it, but I don't know. I gave it a year. I really tried. I liked it. I can't. I had so many issues. So if time left is less than or equal to 0, we're gonna set we will call now. Okay, so now we're gonna do on timeout. This is gonna be public, or no, this is gonna be a private void. Timeout. And we're basically going to do on timeout. And then if one shot, or no, if not one shot. No. If one shot, we will set the is running to false. Else, why am I doing the? I don't need these brackets, not for now. So then else time left is going to be equal to wait time. This has to be in this all has to be in brackets though. So run is basically just gonna say, so that's just gonna set is running equal to true, and then if I pass in this, I'm just gonna basically set wait time, time left, I mean time left is equal to wait time, and then we're gonna call run. So we'll take it, set it, then we'll call run, which will set it to true, which will set the clock running. That's our timer. Yeah. Now, I don't think I'm going to say... I don't think I've left Godot for good. I think Godot is going to be a... Godot is a really good game jam engine. I have full faith that, like, if I do any, like, game jams, I'm probably going to do Godot, because I feel like in those kinds of time constraints, the how fast you can get stuff up and going really quickly is insane in Godot. So I'm 100% going to stick with Godot on for game jams. I just think for my main, like, flagship project right now, I just need something a little bit more mature is all. Now it's been a weird process for me doing this, because, like, I've jumped from engine to engine to engine before in the past. Like, I'd start a new project and I'd be like, I'm gonna do it in this engine, start a new project, go do it in this other engine. I've never migrated a game over, so I'm more conscious now of, like, the differences of the engines and seeing just how similar they are, but then also, like, some of these, like, different ways that I have to solve, like, the same problem in each engine because of how they're designed, and other things like that. Like, I don't have Unity doesn't have a timer node. Fortunately for me, I've used Unity, like, a ton. I use Unity. Unity was the first game engine I ever worked in. I used it for years before I moved over to Unreal. And so like I'm super familiar with Unity. There's a few things that I'm hairy on because it's been a while, but I also do see, like, I'm a C# dev professionally, so this is the realm that I'm super comfortable in. And honestly, like, last year when I started working on Zomclave, I was literally relearning how to use Unity before the incident happened, and then the incident made me jump ship onto Godot. And now that everything's, like, kind of settled and fixed and blah blah blah, and, you know, all that stuff, I think I'm fairly certain that after everything that went down and a lot of the things that they've done since, I'm hesitant still, or I shouldn't say hesitant. I'm not, like, convinced yet, but I'm hopeful that they've learned their lesson. Call it, like, I guess, like, a relationship where, like, the person, like, cheated on you and then you decided to, like, stick with them. I'm not entirely trusting yet, but I'm in a state where I'm willing to hear it out and see if we can fix the relationship. But yeah, so it's not really working in a new engine for me, but it's definitely, but yeah, the converting the game over mid project definitely is a move. It does at a certain point. You have to have, like, $1 million in revenue. Or something like that. Oh, no. So the personal license is free as long as your revenue is under 100K. If you break 100K, you have to get the pro license. Or no. There's a plus license that you can use as long as if your revenue is above 100K, but it's below 200K. Oh, this person's, like, talking about the installation fee thing, which they were talking about. What is their pricing model now? Okay, they canceled the runtime fee. including Unity 6, which Unity 6 I'm kind of excited about. I'll see if I'll probably, because I'm probably not gonna have anything crazy going on with this, that come Unity 6 I might do the migration over to it. There we go. Okay, so personal. The free version of Unity is first off, one of the things they're changing now is in Unity 6 the splash screen is optional, so you don't even have to have made with Unity thrown up anymore. But basically how it works is you get this, the splash screen's optional, the Unity cloud diagnostics and stuff. In 2025 the pricing for personal is free as long as you are under $200,000 in revenue and funding. If you exceed $200,000 in revenue, you have to have the pro version, which gives you access to game consoles, Apple Vision Pro, customer service, premium support add-ons, blah blah blah, like a bunch of businessy stuff and everything like that. And you have to have that if your revenue is $200,000, and that one is $2,200 a year. But if you're making 200K on a game, you can afford that license. And then finally, and then the enterprise license is required if you make 25 million in revenue. So yeah, it's they changed everything, and honestly they reverted everything back, and then they like gave back to the community with like some stuff that people have been asking for ages. And they upped the they upped the amount, the revenue cap to, or for the different licenses. All right, so we got the timer. One thing I want to do now is I don't remember how to hook this timer up now. Yeah, honestly, if I have to, the goal is to have to, I feel like everyone's like, oh, I don't want to pay $2,200 a year for a Unity license. I'm like, dude, I want that, because if I have to buy that the pro license, that means I'm doing something right. Am I gonna hit it? Probably not. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to add when you start it. I'm hoping people just play my game. Like I don't need to be a millionaire, especially like right away. I just want to release a game and it see and I want to see it make money. Like I want to sell copies. Even if it's only like 1,000 copies or something like that, it's not even be life-changing. I just want to say that I did it. And I would love to get to the point where either A, I can quit my job and do this full-time, or B, get a job in industry. Like those are my goals out of this. Is like I don't even need to be rich. I just would love to be able to do this instead of my job and have the same quality of life. This is private. I don't want this private. I don't think it matters, but on disable. Oh, maybe. Okay. Oh, if it wants to be private, it can be private. I don't care. So what we want to do is, so we want to attach events, and we also want to detach events. Wait, all I'm doing is I can just leave these in here for now. So basically, so what I'm going to need here then is we have serialized field private, just for testing. We're going to call this the Timer. Hunger. Timer. Oh, that's what I did. Okay. Oh, take timer, timeout. Okay, okay, okay. We're fine. Hunger timer. So then on enable, I want to do hunger timer dot timeout. Timer dot event mode. How did you, why is he, public class public delegate void? Okay, so like the class is timer. And just pop this over here. I haven't done I haven't done events in so long. I don't remember how to do this. On clicked. And then over here, event manager dot on clicked. Timer dot on timeout. So can I do hunger timer dot on that? Ooh. Am I gonna be able to connect this up the way that I thought I could connect it up? Honestly, I'm wasting my time doing dumb things instead of just getting this done, but I... Timer dot on timeout plus equals hunger drain. I don't know. Do that. So I'm kind of concerned if it's like that. Let me do this hunger drain. Timer fired. Come on, there we go. So grab the player. Got a hunger timer. We're gonna pop that guy right there. Oh. Timers. What's my prefabs? Ability. Add a timer. There we go. Hunger timer. There we go. Do that. Let's run it. Oh, actually, I didn't set this up correctly. So... the wait time on you is going to be to half a second, and we're going to auto start it. Run it.
Just email the artist, have some cover art done. Nervous and excited.
Yeah, I need to... I wish I could afford just an artist, just in general, to do my game. Okay, I didn't hook something up correctly here. I gotta do. If on timeout does not equal null. Ah, it just opened up Steam. Damn it. Objects reference not to something. Unity graph. I just wake up at. I don't know what that is. Get out of here. Okay, do I get that thing firing off? Print. Time left. That's kind of what I want. Is I want to be able to, I want my game to make money so I can take that money and then invest it back into the studio to where then I could hire someone to have, you know, like I feel like if I really actually, I know if I really dedicated myself to like to some of the art, I could do it. The problem is there's a million things to do, and it would be nice to just pay someone to do the art, since that's not like 100% my wheelhouse. Oh, it's counting down super slow. Hold on, why is it counting down so slow? It's counting down super slow. Target time minus equal delta time. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Minus equal time to delta time. But then if I go into the engine, maybe object reference not set to. I don't know what that is for. Bunker timer 0.5 one shot. Yeah. Okay, here let's not bother with this nonsense right now. Yeah, it's counting down by like minuscule amounts. Co-routines. That's right. Okay. I forgot about these bad boys. Okay, so instead of doing... Okay, so to run or in run. Let's do, okay, so let's do IEnumerable countdown. Float. Wait time. I don't know why the timer is counting down like so slow. I shouldn't need a coroutine.
Hi everyone, welcome back to York Games. And
let's mute that. I just want to see what this guy's code looks like. Do I have to do the coroutine? Why does it, okay, why doesn't this work? That's what I want to know. I don't care if it's the correct way to do it. I want to know why time left minus delta time is not working. That hunger timer is set to 0.5. But if I run it, I'm getting it's not moving at all. Okay, hold on. So there's an actual bug here. Okay, that's why. Okay. We got to take this guy out. Do that. That's what we were doing wrong. Okay. So now get rid of this print time left. Come back over to the player, uncomment this. Oops. I really want to know what this null reference object is. Oh, that's what it is. Do that. Save that. There. Timer fired, timer fired, timer fired, timer fired. Okay. So, got that working. I was just dumb and can't write code. What I'm concerned about now is if I go into my dummy, for example, debug. Because it's connecting to an actual timer. Like it's a static class. It's not connecting to an instance. Yeah, so it's firing off to everything. So maybe I can't, right? I've never used events in a game setting before. Signals were the first time, like, because I honestly I didn't really even know about like events or all that much, how to use them for like the longest time until recently. And Godot was the first time I'd really used events in a game because the signals were there and they're super easy. But so is there something I'm doing wrong here? Do I have to send self? Maybe. So maybe. Okay, so if we go back to this event. Timeout. Timer. And then on timeout, I send self. Or this. Timer timeout does not take one argument. Oh, why do I not remember how these work?
Whatever you do.
Oh, stupid ads. Maybe I should do something different instead of doing this right now. But I want to do this now because I'm learning stuff, and that's what's cool.
As though we were creating a method, we specify a return type, so say void, the name of the delegate, I'll call this one delegate example, and then any parameters we may want. For instance,
Let's check C# events. Unity events.
What are events? Why you should use them, and how? In 4 minutes.
Unity has built-in events.
So
I
what
saw
are
somewhere
events?
that I read somewhere that I've seen a couple places where I've seen people be like, unless you need it exposed to the editor, there's no reason to use a Unity event.
With an event, you can subscribe different methods to it, so that when the event is activated, all of the methods that are subscribed to it will also be called. When we use references, we have lots of direct reliance between our classes.
I think I
If we
just
lose
straight up
one of those
can't do what I'm
references,
trying to
we
do
get a
here, at
null
least
reference
this way.
exception. However, with events, if there's ever a case where an object that we have subscribed a method from is lost, that part just won't activate, but the program will still run and all of the other methods that are subscribed will still activate. Events help decrease coupling between classes. This means that classes will focus more on themselves rather than doing the jobs of multiple classes altogether, and events provide a way for decoupled classes to communicate effectively. Otherwise, this would end up getting very messy later on. As well as this, Unity events can be set in the editor, which is pretty pog. Now onto the how. First off, we're going to make a game controller object.
Because I don't want to fill my code with a bunch of timers, because there's plenty of things that I have out there that uses a bunch of timers. So I was wanting to do this one, you know, I want to make like a timer, that a reusable timer, and I wanted it to work like a signal in Godot. But if we're subscribing to a class, not an instance, that makes this hard.
Screen. Tag it as game controller so case can to find it, and we're going to have it as a pub script. Next, we're going to.
I mean, there's definitely uses for this.
And score text to be equal to whatever objects to the coin. Now, in the coin script, we're going to make sure to include using Unity engine.events, and we're going to make a public Unity event. Call it coin collect. We're going to use the function onTriggerEnter2D to check for whether we've collided with the player by using collision.compareTagPlayer. If we have, we're going to invoke the event. We currently don't know if it's going to do anything if we invoke that event, so we're going to make a test method, and inside we're just going to do a simple print statement to test it. And also we're going to destroy the coin after we invoke the event. So now if we look in our inspector, we can actually see that event in the inspector, and we can assign different things to it. However, first we're going to make sure that the player is tagged as player so that the collision worked that we mentioned earlier, and we're going to assign our coin's test method to the event that we just created. We're also going to make the coin into a prefab.
Okay, you know what? We're going to do it this way. I don't think this is going to solve my problem here, but so if I go into here and I go using Unity, so let's get rid of all this garbage. Public Unity event. Timeout. So we'll get rid of this stuff. Actually, we did want that last little bit though. Because then, oops. Because what we're gonna want to do here though is timeout dot invoke.
After we invoke the event.
And then we'll do like public. Let's just do what he's doing. Public test. The autofill is going to make me lose my mind. Like, oh my, yeah, that the autofill is annoying sometimes. Test. I'll test invoke. And all we're going to do is debug. Oh, see, and then when I want to use it, it wants to fight. Debug.log. Test. Or test invoke. Ran. Let's go back to the editor. That's right. Let's get rid of that stuff. Let's get rid of this stuff. So now back here, if I grab my player or my hunger timer,
So now if we look in our inspector, we can actually see that event.
why can I not see my event?
Player by using collision.compareTagPlayer. If we have, we're going to invoke the event. We currently don't.
I see public Unity event coin collect. I've got public Unity event timeout. There it is. Okay. So I want to grab, so the object I want it to be is the player. Object dot. Player dot. Okay, so then do these need to be public? Still haven't figured out what this thing is for, but public hunger drain. I don't want that to be public, but I guess it has to be if a timer is gonna interact with it. So then the hunger timer, the player, hunger drain. So in that case, now it's going to call hunger drain. It's going to say timer fired. So if I get rid of this guy, this is going to work the way that I want it to. Oh, I don't have my auto start set. That's why. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So now, if I set one shot, it should only fire one time. It's still firing. Okay, so we got to fix that a bit. But we've made a timer. So I call timeout. I timeout invoke. If one shot I set is running to false, else time left is. So one shot was set to true. Why did that not run? Let's go back to the editor. Forgot to save the player. So now one shot set. Now it should only run one time. Fired. Cool. So now, if I disable these guys, save this off in the player script. Actually, what I need to do though is if is running, we need to return out. Hold on. It's the C#. Exit a void function early. What's the word I'm looking for? I get, okay. If is not running. run that, and then the same thing if just a little bit of protection here. So if it's not running, I'll do that. Okay. I need to go to the bathroom. I've been twitching my leg here for a second. I will be right back. Okay. Yeah, once I quit trying to use the C# and just use the built-in one, that went way easier. My chair will not. There we go. Because now if I do... So if I'm going to do a hunger timer dot run. Okay, I need to figure out what this is. Hi, Zeppelin. There. Okay, so Unity dot or Unity editor graphs dot wake up null reference exception. Oh, okay. Clear this out. Let's clear the project. Apparently I just need to close this out and reopen it. Wish this cat be. She ignores me all day until I'm doing this. And then she's all up in my face. And it's annoying. And she knows that. But she just wants attention. Okay. Player. Timers. Hunger timer. Set to so that fires it off. But now if we go into the player script and I say run for like 10, save that. So now it's going to take a really long time to fire, but then it's probably going to fire a bunch of times afterwards. Yeah, which is fine. It's fine. So we have a working timer now. Hooray. That only took us like an hour to do. Is there anything in the Godot timer that I could potentially want? Probably not. The only signal that the timer has is timeout. Everything else is like node signals. Okay. We actually want the hunger timer event handler. That's probably going to break it on this end. Player dot hunger timer event handler. That'll just be my way of knowing when I'm at coding out elsewhere that that's an event handler and to not touch that. So the other thing now, so theoretically, so what I can do here now is I'm going to add another timer. Let's open up the player itself. Let's add another timer. Call this the thirst timer. You're looking for the player and you're going to connect to the void the thirst timer event handler. So we're going to call hunger fired bug.log thirst fired. I don't know. I just want to test this because it's cool. So why the default is 100, I don't know. So the hunger timer is going to fire off every half second. The thirst timer is going to fire off every 1 second. Auto start. Save the player off. Oh, I didn't do the player. Oh. Why did it? There's some of these that are just getting really annoying. This is a freaking Visual Studio thing. There we go. Okay, so the thirst timer should now be able to do the thirst timer. I'm actually going to save these differently. So this is going to be event handler underscore hunger timer. And you'll be event handler underscore thirst timer. And now they'll organize nicely inside the little script. So the thirst timer, got the player, event handler, thirst timer. The hunger timer is going to go to hunger timer. Now it should work correctly. Only thirst is firing. Hunger is hunger, thirst is thirst. Set it to 0 just to... There we go. Okay, and these two guys are being difficult, so we're going to delete these for now. And then we're going to add a timer. Add another timer. Hunger timer. You can clearly see that they're timers because they're inside the timers thing. Like, weapon component doesn't need to be called weapon component, but... Actually, let's just for... Actually, in hindsight, I think it's better that I'm doing stuff like this on stream. Because otherwise, you're literally just going to be sitting here watching me transpose code back and forth. At least right now I'm doing something and learning something. Okay, so the hunger timer. Looking for the player. Player. Invoke or hunger timer. Thirst timer. Same thing, we're gonna grab the player. That. The wait time for the hunger is gonna be 1. Gonna auto start. The thirst timer is gonna be 0.5, and it's gonna auto start. I'm gonna save this whole player off. Run. There it goes. I don't know why it's being weird earlier. So I think that's everything that I'm going to need relating to the timer. So I like that. Okay, so timer built. She's sitting here sleeping. You're all good. Cat cam. Oh, she didn't like that. She didn't like that at all. Actually, it doesn't need to be that tiny, but... All right, so that's, like I said, that's the timer. That was one of the random tools we definitely were wanting to have built. The other thing, I guess I could show off. I got all of my scriptable objects set up, so I can now, like, and there's a menu item, so now I can just go to create, go up here to item, and I can create any type of item that I need. So those are all set up. I gotta set up the inventory system, which I've now come to realize that so my inventory needs to basically be I basically need to have a, at the minimum, the inventory I think is going to need to have an ID and yes, an ID to a corresponding scriptable object in a database, and then it's also going to need like a quantity. That's like the minimum that I need. But then like it's going to be the same thing where like if I have an inventory item weapon, I'm going to have like an ID of like the weapon or of the item, you know, the quantity. But then specifically the weapons are going to need to have like IDs to references to like components that are attached to the thing, and that's a whole thing that I'm going to have to I have to figure out how I interact with these, because so when I last used Unity, scriptable objects weren't even a thing. They were like new, probably. I was already pretty deep into Unreal when they came out with scriptable objects, so they're like the one thing that's like super new. What is a signal? Signal asset? What is this? Oh, it's a timeline signal. Okay. So what would be cool to work on stream? I could figure out I was clicking through like random components and stuff I've got. Trying to see what would be cool to work on. I guess I could just start building out some of these. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna, now at this point, I'm gonna have to start building out some of these components. So let's look at the... Look at the health component. Hold on. What's going to be, now that I'm thinking about it, what's going to be weird is the fact that I add a... Oops. Is this the proper way to add this weapon component? I don't think so. I didn't think about this. How am I going to... check if collision object has child with a component. Let's go to dummy. We're going to test something here. That's actually something I need to figure out. Let's go to dummy and characters, dummy. On collision, enter 2D. On collision, it's called when this collider has been set to. Oh, this is where the interfaces will come into play. Because then the question, what was I trying to do? Oh yeah, I have to hit to get the health component. Or no, because on trigger, enter 2D. Let me check this. On trigger, enter. Collider, other. So then, okay, so let's go back into here. Scripts. Create new script. I damageable. I'm actually gonna create a new folder for interfaces. Interfaces. Drop this guy in here right there. Open you up, open you up. You are going to be an interface. Does not need mono behavior. Void. Damage. So then the player is I damageable. And then we're going to implement the interface. Debug dot log. Ouch, you hit me. So then I damageable. Damageable equals other dot get component dot I can damageable. If damageable does not equal new, I can confidently do other dot, or I can do I damageable dot damage on the dummy. I do not want those. I do not need these things firing off anymore. You guys just don't do anything. I keep wanting to. I keep looking for that damn robot. Oh, I guess you guys can't see my taskbar. I've got it covered up. Rigid body. Rigid body 2D on trigger enter 2D. It's probably not the one that I want. Trigger true. I like this. Welcome to Stack Overflow. Please don't use screenshots. Yeah, it's these little things that I've got to remember how to do, is like these. Do rigid bodies have collision? Like, I thought they did. Collision detection. Discrete. Continuous. Oh, I created a game. Apparently Control Shift N creates a new game object. Now I'm gonna grab this. Rigid body 2D collision. Colliders that okay. So what I actually need then is in the player, or in the character, you guys are also going to require a collider. Review. Collider 2D. Guess that's gonna update and also then give me a. Okay, so add a collider. Box collider. Edit collider. I guess I need to, okay, so I need to add a sprite then. And if we edit the collider. How do I move it around? Is it too small? No, because I can't move it, period. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so it was super tiny. Gotcha. Okay, so let's put you there. Put you there. You there. Put you there. Let's do that, and then I'm gonna copy this component. I'm gonna go back to the scene. I'm gonna go to the dummy. Box collider 2D. Paste component. Or paste component values. Okay. Let's go to the player. Copy component. Go in here. Paste component as values. There we go. Hi, Zeppelin. Ooh, I spun. Okay. So constraints, freeze rotation. Freeze rotation. It's in the rigid body, right? Yeah. Player, let's go into you and save this explicitly onto the prefab. It just slides. Okay. Well, let's set this to a trigger just for the time being. I can try to get this thing to fire off. Is trigger. Trigger enter. Actually, here, let's debug dot log triggered. See if we're even firing off the trigger. Not even firing off the trigger. Okay. Like, I keep closing my window. Unity 2D collision. And the on collision exit 2D, then there is no context switch. Okay, so should this be on collision? Oh wait, on trigger enter 2D. There we go. That's why it's not firing. Remember, it has to be a type collider 2D. Why? I shouldn't have disturbed her. She was sleeping so nice, and then I pet her. Now she's on my lap. Cool. Oh, actually, I know it's probably still working. There's got to be a collider 2D also. That might be the last one I broke. Triggered. Ouch! You hit me. Okay. So going to be throw dot. So now if I delete this, I'll get the one that has the implement the interface. Throw new system. There we go. Okay, so I need and I can't have character be eye damageable because not all characters are going to be damageable. And actually, if I remove this and I run it, it's just gonna not do anything. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. I gotta figure out the draw layers here, but Okay, neat. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll just work on components now. So let's go in here. If we go to components, open component. I'm gonna make a health component. All the components that I have in right now is, so I got a health component. I need to make a detection component. Detection component. Armor component. Let's mix up the music a bit. Let's throw in some Diablo. Okay. So we got the... All right, so we've got yeah, armor component. Yep. Detection component. Yep. Health component. Yep. Hitbox component. I actually won't need a hitbox component because am I going to need a hitbox component? What does the hitbox component do? The hitbox just signals to the player that they've been hit. Which I don't need to, so I don't need the hitbox component because we have the damageable interface. The detection component, however, I don't think it actually needs to be a component either. Yeah, I actually don't need the detection component. This whole thing can go. Because I'm going to collide with something, and on collision, I can check if it's eye interactable and be able to interact with it. So yeah, I don't need the detection component either, so that's gone. So we got armor, we got health. Don't need a hitbox. We'll need an inventory component. And the inventory component's going to be the one I do last. Okay, so the easiest one will be the health component. We're gonna need to sort out these signals because so my current health component has a signal that damage has been taken and that I've been destroyed. Okay, so to start at the here, we're gonna have a public Unity event. Damage taken. How does this look in editor again? I need to see this. Script timeout. Handler hunger timer. Okay. And then if I come back here. Okay, so it knows. So damage taken. Control plus that. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. So control plus alt enter. There we go. I want to, one thing I need to get good at just in like my day-to-day life is, especially at work, is like using my keyboard or keyboard shortcuts and everything like that. So damage taken and then public. Unity events. Destroyed. We'll do a serialized field of private const max health. Const int, duh. Const field requires a value to be provided. Oh wait, I didn't even make. I made it a variable before. Okay. Equals 100. Private. Private const. Or private int. Current. Or no, call it health. There's got to be eventually I'm gonna have a way that I go in here because I gotta save the stats and stuff like that. But for the time being, health is just gonna equal max health. Ooh, how do I, oops. How do I handle, now that I think about armor component. Oh, actually, so the hitbox component probably is what? Is either sending the hit or the zombie hit. Okay. So what I can do then is so the health component is actually just taking a net damage taken. So there's gonna be nothing in update. Public void damage is gonna take in an int of net damage taken, and basically it's just going to be health minus equal net damage taken. And then we're gonna have a private void check health, be capital D. And if health is less than or equal to 0, or no. Well, if health is greater than 0, it's going to do damage taken dot invoke. Else, actually, I don't need the brackets here. Destroyed dot invoke. That's gonna be that. So then actually I damageable is either gonna take, do I have a bullet? I do have a bullet. So it's either gonna take a bullet void damage int damage, because then I'll differentiate if I'm hitting you with a bullet versus if I'm hitting you with the zombies, because then in the armor component the hitbox component, hit taken projectile, hit taken blah 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 blah, which is probably in the armor component then. Which projectile? I gotta go check the player now. The player hitbox component armor, otherwise it's just taking the damage. Okay. So yeah, annoyingly, I will have to have that in here. Send to armor component.
Health component zombie damage. So if I go back to the health component.
Yeah, so zombies are able to like kind of just get. I have to figure out a whole different calculation for zombies, but basically. Zombie damage. Send straight to health component. Assign region. High damageable. And region. There we go. So I damageable. This is going to be region, event handlers, and region. So now I can knock you guys down, knock you guys down. Back to the health component then. Damaged. Check health. And then we'll also have a public void. Heal. Just gonna take an int heal amount. That's gonna be health plus equals heal amount. How do you cap that? I forget. C# max value set. Okay, so math.min mathf.min amount or max health. So I either gonna so it's either gonna be that or it's just gonna be the max health if we exceed 100. Is that how that works? Oh yeah, because if I'm over 100, it'll take the minimum amount. So that's the health component. Which means now the player, for example, I'll take this health there, this component. I'm actually gonna put it. So I've got constants. Import variables, public variables, variable. have to organize at some point. But then, so now we have a serialized field. Oh, why did I don't want that. There's going to be a health component. Called health component. And event handlers, we can do event handler, health component. Let's put this guy over here. Damage taken. And we're gonna copy that guy. Put another one down here. Destroyed. Throw new system dot not implemented exception. Hide the event handlers, and then back over here I'm actually gonna, so now I'm gonna disable these timers for the time being so they're not firing off a ton of stuff. No overload for damage. 10. All right, so now the armor components. All right, so the armor component is going to be oh, well, I am gonna need those signals. Okay.
Armor removed from component.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do some sort. Okay. Back into our components. This is a prefabs, that's right. Sweet.
Let's go ahead and do the armor component.
That's not where I want that. There we go. Does it need to be a mono behavior? Yes, it does. Okay, so the armor component is going to have a it needs a couple events. For net damage taken. Armor removed. Move from inventory. Add to inventory. Change armor. Because what's happening is okay. I'm not sure I'm going to need these signals, but so there's no start and ready, or so there's none of this crap. Which means it doesn't have to be a mono behavior, but I'm just gonna leave it as a mono behavior. So var, or no, what am I doing? Private. Private item armor. Armor. And then private. Inventory item armor. Inventory item armor. Like that, because we don't have those made yet. The damage is gonna be a big one. Okay. So, okay, so basically we're going to have a public damage. And it's going to take in a bullet. How are you guys? How's everyone doing today? I've realized I've kind of just been yapping to myself for a minute. It's been a little quiet. How y'all doing? Okay, so first off, so what we're gonna do here is so this is going to be a float local base penetration chance, which equals 0.75 apparently. I don't remember why I used that, but it's 0.75. 0.75F. Next we need a float. Oh. Armor penetration chance is going to equal bullet dot armor pierce. Does bullet, what does bullet have? All those need to be public because I need access to them when I because the whole point of this is actually, well, I'm not, speed is private. Recoil will have to be public because that's going to get sent back to the person when they get shot. Direction and this will need to be public. All right, so now when I go back to the armor component, I can do bullet dot armor penetration. Oh, I need to rename that because it's not private anymore. But you guys are. All right, so armor penetration. Dude, building VMs is so much fun though. Float armor class. It should be an int. Int local armor class. Float local armor fragility. Float dot base damage is going to equal to the bullet dot damage. And the penetration chances of float. Wait. Armor penetration. So that's not chance. This is just the armor penetration. And then float. Armor penetration. Chance. We got all that. So now, if armor local armor, the L armor class is going to equal armor class. Yep, there we go. And then the same thing with the fragility. Fragility equals underscore armor dot fragility.
Oh, this is gonna be fun to type this out.
Oh yeah, armor classes can just be set to 0. Because then if I have armor, it sets the armor class. Otherwise, it just stays to 0. And the fragility can be equal to 0 too. Doesn't really matter, but... I remember it took me so long to like come up with this thing. I need to drag this over so I can see it more. Actually, one thing I can do is reveal in File Explorer. There we go. I can just pull up the GD script right here. So if armor, oh, this is so much harder to look at when it's not colored though. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna do that. Let's do that and do this. Now I can see both and I don't have to look so far away. If armor, so now if I don't like this L thing. So if armor penetration is greater than or equal to the armor class, hide that down. Oh, this gets long. Okay. I wonder if I copy paste this, how obnoxious is this going to be? Oh, it's not gonna go well at all. Okay, we're gonna forget I did that. Okay, so if the armor penetration is greater than the armor class, check if we have armor again. Penetration chance. Penetration chance is going to equal the base penetration chance minus, how do I log in? mathf dot log wonder now. Wonder if that's why it wasn't doing what I thought I was doing. We'll see. That that's interesting. So this is going to be the I need the inventory items first. Oh, I can't do this. Because this is referencing the durability on the item, and I forgot the inventory items themselves have the durability. Man, there's a... Not going to call him out, but there's definitely someone lurking in chat that I've seen in here a few times. I don't think you follow me, man. You've been here a bunch of times. You should give me that. You should hit that follow button. Nah, I'm not going to do the spiel. If you want to follow, do it. If you don't. I will not be offended either way. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do the inventory items before I can move on with this. It's a little annoying, but do I want to start doing that? Dude, I know someone who actually does like push-up rewards for when they have the channel points. But you know what? Screw it. If you follow, I'll do 10 push-ups. All right, so curious on oh, my phone's going off. What is going on? Why is my phone blowing up? What do you people want from me? Ah, she's my wife. What does she want? All right, that's... We're good. Okay. Sort that out. All right, so... Yeah, all right, let's do inventory items. Components, interfaces, items. Let's do a script. Inventory item. The base inventory item look like? No, I got this to dictionary thing. That's I'm gonna have to worry about, but okay. So, in items, inventory item. You guys won't need to be a mono behavior. So what I'm gonna need is a public int item ID public int quantity. I really, all I need is the ID, because I'll use the ID to grab the scriptable object, and the scriptable object has everything that I need in it. So every inventory item base only needs an ID and a quantity, I guess. I'm not going to need anything else. I always feel dumb putting like amount of this item for like stuff like quantity, but I want to be consistent and have some sort of like, it's nice to be able to highlight over and see stuff. And if I get in the habit of just doing it for everything, then I always know that I'll have it if I ever look at something and go, I don't remember what that is. Okay, that's gonna be that. Let's close all these guys out for now. Got all these open. Oh, wait, what? I'm making this way harder than it needs to be. Inventory item, weapon, loot, crafting material, consumable, attachment, armor, ammo. Okay. So let's create all these scripts in Unity first, and then we'll go and edit them. I'll grab you over the side over here. So you're gonna be inventory item. Weapon. This domain thing is super annoying right now at the beginning where I'm creating stuff like a lot. Inventory item. I'm just gonna copy that. Inventory item. Loot. Inventory item, crafting material. Yeah, waiting on that is create. Then we need consumable. Oops. Dang it. Try to get fancy with it. Okay, let's delete that guy. F2, copy that. Great. Consumable. We need attachment, armor, and ammo. So I just did attachment, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got item. That's not mathing. Okay. Great. One of these is not getting used. I don't know what it is. You know what it is? I think because I think loot is just going in as an inventory item. I probably don't need this crafting material. We'll come back to that. Because yeah, when I check my inventory, or let's do the player. If we open up the player script again and I check the load, there's an inventory item loot that I'm missing. Okay. So there should be an even amount of these in here. Because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The inventory item, ammunition, armor, attachment, consumable, loot, weapon. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, we are correct. Okay. Alright, so back to the old scripts. Let's bring this guy back over. So inventory item, ammunition, armor, attachment, consumable, loot. Loot 1. Why do I have 2 loots in here? Oh, so I'm still missing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we're gonna go back over here. Bring this guy back up. Should tabs in multiple rows. So weapon, loot, consumable, attachment, armor, ammunition, item. So that crafting material one is just not being used in the current game. Interesting. item, weapon, loot, consumable, attachment, armor, ammo, item. There we go. Ammunition, ammo. Ammo doesn't need anything. You're just a armor. Item. Except you are going to inherit from inventory item. Armor. Inventory item. So we're gonna have public float durability. Public bool equipped. We don't really use armor status. Remaining durability. Determines if currently equipped. Armor, so attachments. You don't really need anything in here. Consumable. Don't really have anything in here. Most of these are just for checking out types of items. But I'm not surprised a lot of them are just blank. Consumable we already did. Loot. Yep, loot's got nothing in here. The weapon is weapon's the fun one. All right, so weapon really is just going to need public int muzzle ID. Barrel ID. Handguard ID. And magazine ID. And grip ID. And then stock ID. I'll need the stock ID at some point. I mean the scope ID. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on there. Public int scope ID because I know I'm going to need that for sure. Because I think that's the only attachment that I have that can just be attached directly to the weapon. Everything, all the other secondary attachments are attached to something else. So then we also need a public. What's the enums? Caliber. Okay.
Is that really what I did? Project.
Oh, I had nothing equipped.
But why? I need to test this now.
Ammo type. Oh, that's an actual. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Item ammunition, which actually means it's going to be a to ammunition ID because those are also scriptable objects. And then the last one is supposed to be equipped. Public int durability. Then finally, public bool is equipped. I didn't do that for armor. Oh, how many of these did I screw up the spelling? Literally just this one. Okay. Inventory. Everything okay, they're all, the rest of them are all spelled correctly. This stuff at the beginning that I don't need. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just gonna leave them for now. Okay, so that's all of the inventory items now. Means now we can go back to the armor component armor component. Because now I'm gonna have the inventory. Okay, come on. The inventory item armor dot durability divided by 100 minus 1 minus armor penetration, armor class times 0.15 F. That's that. I think I'm gonna finish out this script, and I think we're gonna call it here. I just realized it's almost 5 o'clock. Getting hungry too. If armor, all that nonsense. Oops. Else penetration chance equals 1. Else a whole bunch of stuff. So you're gonna be penetration chance. You're gonna be base penetration chance. You're gonna be inventory item armor. You're gonna be math f dot log. You're gonna be armor penetration, and you're gonna be armor class. So that's that bit of like really long code out of the way. The rest of it's fairly short. Honestly, just so I know, I'm gonna put you down to line 24. That way I can actually like compare and make sure everything's here. So like this penetration, second penetration thing is online. Oh, well, it throws off my numbers because of the different, because of the brackets. Okay. Oh my God, it's 5 o'clock and it's 100 degrees out there. Probably shouldn't like. That might dox me if I if I highlight over that. Okay, so if else. So now you have to do if random dot random range. Is this inclusive or exclusive? Oh, it's deprecated. Is it random dot range? It is. Min inclusive, max inclusive. Okay. So if random dot range from 0 to 1 is less than or equal to penetration chance, man, if it's 100 degrees out, I should go check my mail because I'm waiting on a few more Pokemon cards to come in the mail. And I don't want them getting all weird in the heat. if armor. Inventory item armor dot durability minus equals I do 0.25f times base damage times the armor penetration divided by armor class times 100 plus armor fragility. Close that up. Divided by 100. Close. Good. No worries, man. I'm logging off here literally as soon as I'm done with this function. So have a good night. See you next time. And then the base damage is going to be equal to 0.5 times, so half the base damage times 1 plus armor penetration divided by armor class divided by 20 for some reason. Else the base damage is going to be equal to 1.5f times the base damage. To do add VFX. Else oops. Else if armor durability minus equal 0.10 times base damage times armor penetration divided by armor class. I used to know how this math worked. Times double open 100 plus armor fragility divided by 100. And then base damage is just going to equal 0. And then we have this. So after that's all said and done, mathf dot max no, the inventory armor dot durability is going to equal mathf dot max, which is going to be the inventory armor dot durability and 1. There probably is. I can do this check way sooner. I can put it else somewhere too, but that's fine. So then after all that is said and done, net damage taken. How do I pass Unity events pass values? Okay, yeah, I know they can take it. How do I write it? Let that evoke, so I can just net damage taken dot invoke base damage. Well, I'll have to figure that off stream, but it's after 5. I gotta get going. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time. As always, if you haven't, hit the follow, check out the social medias. Yeah, I know it's probably for new people, it's probably a little bit more boring to watch because I'm doing a migration. If you're new and you don't know what I'm working on, feel free to ask. I can fire up the Godot build of the game to show you like what I'm doing at least, and go over why we're converting it from Godot to Unity. I can assure you guys, has absolutely nothing to do with the events that transpired over the last weekend. This was a decision I made before this weekend, and just had great timing on yesterday being the day I was going to start it right after that whole thing. But yeah, it's got nothing to do with that. But yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I got to get going. Have a good night. Bye.